What's going on, guys? This is my first discussion on TSTV, and the first discussion will be about the new Pokemon Legends trailer that dropped today. And I brought my friend Haziah, who is an expert on Pokemon.
Whoa. What?
Son, you're an expert. We're all
Calm
experts.
down.
If I feel like if you've played more than 5 Pokemon games and have watched more than 3 seasons of Pokemon, I feel like you can call yourself an expert. I mean,
I guess, but like
obviously that's not anything compared to me having watched almost every episode of Pokemon, but I think that's the bar.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it's been a long time since I was like deep into it. Like 2010, Black and White.
2010. Oh, Black and White was the last one you played. I mean, I guess that's a natural transition.
Deeply, like I was deep into it.
Oh, really? Did you play on system?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I played on the emulator.
Yeah, I know. All my Pokemon are gone because I gave that away. It was a mistake.
Oh, that's so sad. Like, yeah, I can't now. Oh, that's so sad. Like thinking about, like, I probably have Pokemon on cartridges like all around the world, and like I would never access them again. Or they're probably deleted. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I just found my Pearl version. It's weird because like the trailer happened today, but like I found my version of Pearl like earlier this year. I was like, oh man, history in the making. And I can't play it because I don't have a DS anymore. So.
Yeah. And did you see? Do they still sell DSs?
Yes. Yeah, you mean
does
Nintendo
sell DSs? That's what I should ask.
No, they discontinued.
Oh, Jesus.
They discontinued DSs, 3DSs, 2DSs, new 2DSs. All of it's gone.
Oh wow. Well,
yeah, I mean, Switch is making a lot of money. Why,
that's true.
Why
that's
do
true.
it anymore?
Well, Haziah, we are here today to talk about the trailer, not about the history of Nintendo DSs and all of our dead Pokemon. But to kick this off, I would like to know, what's your favorite Pokemon game?
Favorite Pokemon game is probably going to have to be Gold, or I guess
Gold.
Crystal.
I knew that, actually.
Because if I hadn't played Gold, Silver, and obviously Crystal first, then it would probably be split between Sapphire or Black and White 2.
Black and White 2. I hear Black and White 2 is good. I've never played Black and White 2.
It's great for competitive. Gold and Silver, because it just was such a huge jump from Red and Blue. Like, you got night and day, you got full bike system, you got to go back to Red and Blue, obviously. They just had everything. And then just another game on top of that. Then you get to fight yourself from the first game. Like, come on.
Oh, that is cool. Wow. Damn. I think that my favorite Pokemon game is Pokemon Emerald. Still to this, like, every time I've played multiple Pokemon games since then, but Pokemon Emerald, and it's specifically we'll talk about it later, but it's specifically for one scene in Pokemon Emerald, when like the final story scene where you dive into the town and then you come up. And then, like,
oh yeah, I love that part.
And then, like, the legendary Pokemon whose names are escaping me right now.
Requires
and Kyogre and Kyogre.
Yeah, Kyogre.
Yeah, and they're like fighting over the town. Like, oh my god, like that was We'll get into it. So the first thing that we are going to do is talk about our impressions of the trailer. I'm gonna switch to the actual trailer on the stream while you talk about your impressions, and I'm going to try to match it up with wherever you are, even though it's going on in the background of us, but I'm going to try to match it up to wherever you are talking. So I'm all ears. What'd you think of the trailer, man?
The trailer was not, I wouldn't say surprising, because I've been waiting like 15 years for this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I was talking to someone earlier today about how I've been waiting for an open world style Pokemon game, and when Breath of the Wild came out, I thought that was going to be the next Pokemon game,
Mm-hmm.
and lo and behold, we got Sword and Shield. Which wasn't terrible. It's just disappointing. It just was overall just a run of the mill Pokemon game with some cool bits to it that didn't get fleshed out until the DLC that I didn't get to play.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
which seems to be the sentiment that a lot of the community had.
Yeah. But I mean, it's sold so great that it's about to overturn, I think, Silver. So, oh well.
Oh wow.
But like the moment where that shot was literally like one for one, like the Breath of the Wild shot, I was like,
oh yeah, it's funny you said that. As soon as you said that shot came
like I was like watching it at work, and I just said, "Oh shit, it's happening!" And like the person across from me was like, "What?" Like my childhood being fulfilled, like as we speak in
literally
2022.
Literally, what are you 24? What are we 24 these days?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But yeah, no, it was overall a solid trailer. I mean, we're going to go deeper into it, I'm sure, but like,
yeah,
it showed what people were complaining about for years. So like the question is, what's the story going to be and how prevalent it's going to be? It's going to be like a Sun and Moon situation where it's like smacking in the face.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Or is it going to be like, yeah.
Cool. I mean,
overall good.
I mean, I feel like some of the things. I mean, like some of the things that like stood out to me, like immediately was that like calligraphy style thing that they had going on. I don't know if that was. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna translate anything into the game. I doubt it. I guess. I hope so. Because like some of the architecture
you reminded me of.
Oh, go. What you got?
It was the shot where I think is the blip blop. Where it was at the beach with like the grass coming out of the sand.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh shit, this is a gorgeous game. It's not like done clearly, but it's when they're going. It's in the beginning of the trailer.
At the beginning of the trailer, Pokemon went to the next thing for me. At the beginning of the trailer, the beach on the sand. Beach on the sand. Let's see. Oh, with Piplup and Yep. Oh, did you notice that little structure in the background over there? What is that? It's like a giant pincer or something.
Oh, this is big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like draw distance wise,
it's a
crazy.
Much bigger game than we're assuming. And also just like the way the grass comes out of the sand and like way it works with the brush strokes with the whites and the greens.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, extremely impressive.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't translate to the whole trailer, but like if it's like this, like I have high hopes.
It's crazy. It's crazy because like I haven't played Ghost of Tsushima, but just from like the random gameplay that I've seen, it for some reason it reminds me of it.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it was like it's between that and like Breath of the Wild
for sure.
Like I swear I don't want to like call this, but their crouching animations exactly links crouching animation. So I don't want to say anything, but
that's crazy.
Like I'm pretty sure they were like, "Hey, can we take some of those assets and just like make an open world game?" Oh yeah, sure, whatever, man. Just gotta like color up a little bit.
Yeah. The other thing, I mean, how do you feel about the? I mean, you kind of touched on it, but how do you feel about the graphics? How do you think? I guess do we still call them red these days?
Red?
Like the main character?
Oh, you mean like the red character? Like you mean like
whatever?
He's whatever they deem him as.
Yeah.
No, we don't call him red anymore.
What do we call him?
He was only red in the first game.
Really? I've been calling him red ever since. Like every main character is called red to me.
They all have different names.
Oh wow.
They all have different names.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we briefly talked about it earlier today, but I'm not sure what the fuck the deal is with like Game Freak. but they have this thing. I don't know what this thing is. They have a serious texture problem. They can't nail down textures, like to make them seem natural with the rest of their world. Like it's weird coming. I think a good example of that was when Sword and Shield came out.
Okay.
And then the trailer for Animal Crossing came out. And Animal Crossing is very deep, detailed, and integral. Like obviously important because that's most of the game.
Mm-hmm.
But for all intents and purposes, they're repeating assets. So it's like they could do it, and we have seen it before. Like literally, Breath of the Wild came out 2 years ago, 4 years ago. Are we at that point yet?
Breath of the Wild came out
2018
when I think I was a sophomore or junior. So it'd have been like 4 years ago, 4 years ago. Yeah.
I actually can't hear you anymore.
You can't. Oh, because I'm talking low.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. They have to get over this. Like, they have a year.
Mm-hmm.
So anything can happen in a year.
Yeah.
But they have to get over that hump of being limited.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I think that I guess the hope is that when obviously it's not final, but we also, I mean, to be honest, we also kind of said that with Pokemon Sword and Shield. We're like, oh, it's not final. Yeah. I mean, I saw people online say that, but like, it was, and like when it came out, people were like, oh. So we don't have a
toast.
What's up?
I was like, it was milk toast.
Yeah, I mean, and so I wonder, I don't know how far along on the actual production it is, but I mean, I can't even speculate. I don't know how Pokemon games like I don't know what their like last year schedule looks like compared to like other games. Because I did see like some of the, and I hope they fix it. But I did see that some of the Pokemon attacks had like a little stuttering, like when Lucario hit one of the Pokemon, like he like stutters there a little bit. I'd like to think that that's one of those things that they'll like fix up. But also, like, why would they put that in the trailer?
I don't know, man. I guess a Game Freak is weird. Like the last game they put out was Town, like little Town Story or whatever it was, which was like the game that people were excited when they first saw it because it looked gorgeous. But then the trailers kept going and they looked more and more rough, and then it came out and it was garbage. So Game Freak, like I don't know where they're at right now in terms of like how they've been managing, development, but like it's almost impossible to say what this game's going to come out like because
it's true.
To be honest, it doesn't seem like their effort has been that solid when it comes to putting out games. Like there's a difference between a Pokemon game that comes out, let's say a Zelda game, or a Mario game, or even a Kirby game. Like they feel polished and like solid, whereas when a Pokemon game comes out, like as of the past like 6 years,
I mean,
like
I hesitate to call it. Pokemon has kind of stumbled into that Call of Duty, NBA 2K territory.
Yeah.
Let's hope that this is a big enough jump, and that'll be my transition to the next topic. Big enough jump to where we feel like there's some sort of significant generational change or something. I mean, so the next portion of the video is talking about the actual plot. And so do you think that this is like a almost like an Assassin's Creed thing where they're pretty much changing like the core of the game and going, because the thing is, like, I was thinking about this earlier, like they could milk this Legends thing a lot. They can go Legends Arceus, Legends Celebi. They can go Legends Mewtwo, which would be fucking insane. And so I guess the question that I have, and I guess the two questions that I have written down here is, what does Arceus have to do with anything? And does the title imply that sequels will be centered around legendaries. I know that there is there's the movie Arceus and the Jewel of Life, maybe. Obviously, I'm more of the Pokemon like TV show movie guy. And in that movie, I think I actually have a clip from it. And we can talk over it. But in that movie, Arceus and so basically the movie, the super summary of the movie, Arceus is like creating stuff because he's like Pokemon Jesus, and he gets hurt or something. And the guy Deimos or whatever pronounce his name comes in and he's like helps Arceus, and like they had, because Deimos has like this like power to connect with the Pokemon or something. Yada 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 whoop de whoop. And so I wonder if we actually get to see Deimos, because that situation happens in the past. Like he's supposed to be like this long forever ago ancestor, like way back when. So I wonder if this is actually during that time, like at the in the universe. I don't know. I'm inclined to think that it is, and I wonder if with our new graphics, our new and improved graphics, if we'll be able to actually get a full scale legendary battle like it's supposed, because like I said earlier, like walking into that, like coming up from the dive of that Pokemon Emerald Town, I felt like I was part of the battle. This place that I had come to earlier was in shambles, was like the weather patterns were weird, like people were distraught. It's almost like in the Breath of the Wild when you're like when a weather change happens, like you feel like you feel it, like you're on the mountain and it gets slippery. Things like, oh my god, the clip from the movie just scared the hell out of me. And so like I wonder like where they're going with the plot. I mean, I can't really see anything else other than that, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Well, I mean, Pokemon's not too like unfamiliar with making new timelines. So I mean, like they could totally do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, like that's what the remakes of those like the past couple games have been like with like what was it, Omega Ruby and Sapphire and so on and so forth, or even X and Y is part of that too, where it's like technically a different universe of Pokemon, which I mean the game doesn't really talk about as much, but like when you look in the lore of it, it's kind of crazy. So that all to be said, it's just like I think this will be the first time we actually experience that, because obviously the world is different at that point, and when you're dealing with a Pokemon that is literally involved in creation, you know, anything's kind of possible. And I'm wondering, this is like a speculation of mine, if Arceus is going to be changing like kind of what you briefly brought up, as changing the property of the land itself. Because
it's oh wow, I don't know. I mean, I think that and that actually transitions actually to the next part. So I'll just combine them all together. The thing that I was thinking about in combination with the plot, and since you bring that up, like him changing, I don't know if I guess it changing the land, and I don't know if Arceus is going to be antagonistic towards you, because I don't think he was antagonistic towards Deimos in the movie, but who knows, the movie verse is his own thing. I don't even think the movie verse has anything to do with the TV verse, but
no, it doesn't.
But I wonder with like this new, like they have like the barrel roll and the sneak and like you catch Pokemon, yada yada, and we'll get to that, but I wonder if you can actually be hurt by the world now. Like I wonder if you have health, which seems like radical of a Pokemon game to do, but like if you don't have random encounters, like I mean, I don't know if they didn't. I don't even know if they have random encounters in the game. Like if you go in the bush, like that person dived in the bush and threw it at the Pokemon outside the bush.
Right.
So like it for me, like I guess I'm probably projecting Breath of the Wild, obviously, but I think that would be a very interesting concept. Like the player Red getting hurt by the world or by Pokemon, and I can see a situation where you're kind of like solid snaking it through like this Arceus world, trying to get close to him. That would be dope.
It'd basically be Pokemon Tabletop.
Yeah, I've never played Pokemon Tabletop. Tell me about
it. It's basically that. Like, I mean, of course, it depends on the campaign you're playing, but the last campaign I did with Pokemon Tabletop was super fucking dark. Because it's like, what if Pokemon had like actual real ramifications? Like, what if the Mafia had control over like most of the region?
That's funny.
Like, what if like, you know, you were walking through the woods and someone just showed up and was like, "It's time to battle." Like, that's like, who's keeping track of the rules? And that's kind of what you deal with. Like, you go like, when we were playing, we went into like I think it was Saffron Forest, and we ran into a trainer, and so they made the decision to try and like basically fade us, like fade me. Actually, it was me and another person.
Fade you? As in hurt you or punch you, like literally fight you. I thought that's what you meant.
Yeah, and so I had like went up and like pulled up my blade, and it like it cut
Jesus
their arm.
Christ.
And I was like, "Yo, this is mad weird."
When you're in Pokemon cutting people's arms off, Jesus.
And like people in the game can learn moves. So like, because why wouldn't you be able to learn Pokemon moves? Because it's intrinsic to like biology and life.
Mm-hmm.
So like you can learn moves like Slash and like, you know.
I mean, humans are basically normal type Pokemon, like for better or for worse.
Exactly.
Like
so
normal like, fighting type, I'd say probably.
Like, well, like you can see in like this is like a huge tangent, but like you can see in the designs like psychic trainers know how to use psychic abilities. Like it's kind of intrinsic to the world.
That even happens in the anime. Yep. I mean, and that's crazy. Which I'll get to this later. But like let's wrap up this mechanics conversation real quick. Do you think that random encounters are still there? Like, will you still have random encounters? And the other question is, do you want them there?
So yes, if I had to make a speculation, it's probably because Game Freak is so behind on the times. It's probably gonna work like a Tales game, Tales of game. Whereas if you run into a random encounter, it happens in the same spot as your random encounter, but then like the trainer will jump away, and then the Pokemon will jump away, and you can kind of like a little bit move around and make decisions.
I see. I can see that. I can see that. Kind of like no. I mean, that's if I'm not mistaken, that's kind of what they used to do for the Mortal Kombat games. Like the open world games, like when you would actually have to fight a person, as opposed to just like the beat 'em up part of the game. They would like summon an arena.
Oh, I remember that.
That
wasn't
you fight in
Deception.
Yeah, Deception in Armageddon. If I remember correctly. I mean, that'd be cool. I personally don't want random encounters anymore. I would be fine to see how it goes without random encounters. That's what I should say. I would be fine to see like what it would be like to just have all of the Pokemon of the world be there. But I do recognize though that this would be a massive hauling on the developer's part, because there's no way you're fitting all of those Pokemon in the world. I mean, you can do it, but it would take a lot more.
You can do it.
It would take more creativity than they've shown, to be honest.
Basically, what we discussed throughout this whole thing, kind of the points that you brought up, are just two different games that already exist. Basically, we'd be talking about Xenoblade Chronicles, and fused with Ni no Kuni. Ni no Kuni is a game that came out for the PS3 a long time ago. Not a long time ago, but I mean, like this one, it's like over 10 years ago. I'm just kind of weird to think about. Basically, you playing as this kid who gets this like magical ability to basically have like a familiar, and you can actually
Okay.
like catch familiars in the game, and they level up like Pokemon, where they like evolve over time, and like depending on how you train them, they evolve in different branches.
You know, I just thought about.
And the combat style, what I was going to do is the combat style is you play as the kid and the familiar at the same time, and you can choose to like have the familiar play as a familiar and fight, but you can also go back to your like trainer, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
and cast spells and like do physical attacks, but you can also get attacked.
That makes sense. You know what I just thought about? It kind of reminds me of Dragon Quest, the older Dragon Quest on DS. I forgot. I can't remember the subtitle for it.
Yeah, Joker.
Yeah. You do with the white hair, kind of look like Goku. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually, believe it or not, that's actually in my top maybe 30 games or so.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we need some remakes for that, which I guess I barely even pick up my Switch these days. So, but
I'm about to pick it up. I haven't picked it up in a while either.
I can't wait to play Pokemon Snap, but that's a conversation for a different day. So the next thing I want to talk about
Mario Golf.
Who knows when is that coming out?
I think it's coming out like in the next couple of months.
Oh well, I look forward to that. We might could do a live stream of it. So the next topic on the docket was what the hell is going on with Pokeballs? So initially, my mind has been flipped today by this trailer. So initially, I thought that Pokeballs were this like technology that they came up with, and that Pokemon before Pokeballs would just follow their trainer, and they would just have 6 Pokemon walking around. I researched this, and it's not the case. Like they have multiple things. I think that I'm almost convinced that there's some sort of magic going on here, and that company that produces Pokeballs now, that I can't remember for some reason, they just happen to improve upon the magic, and not the actual technology doesn't seem to have changed. I mean, the actual technology seems to have changed very little in the face of the magic that they've had. Because if they're using like lock and key for their Pokeballs, I read that that I don't know if you remember Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, where with Sir Aaron, he had like his wand thing that he used to capture the spirit of Lucario. And like there's other like Easter eggs throughout the games of like there was one guy who was captured by a Pokeball. And I think he turned into a what's the evolve of Hunter? Why can't I think of his name?
Gengar.
Gengar. He turned into a Gengar because he died in a Pokeball or something like that. So the question I raise here is: do you think that we will have multiple Pokeball types?
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's funny that you bring up like the company using that. I mean, magic is just technology or science we don't understand or whatever.
Yeah, sure. Like, that's what they say. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I think that there's totally going to be multiple different types of Pokeballs. I don't think they'll come up with a lower reason, but it's gonna be bullshit. So
yeah, for
whatever.
Sure. They're gonna be like, yeah, like, but I can't even. Go for it. I can't even think of what they would come up with.
It's gonna be like the from Diamond and Pearl, the Seedballs, whatever they're called, where they have like very specific things that they can catch more easily, and usually it has to do with like a specific trait of a Pokemon.
Yeah,
they're probably gonna have stuff like that and be like, "That's where they came from."
But like, I can understand that because they are a very technologically advanced society. They look like they were in fucking Samurai Land.
Feudal Japan.
Yeah.
Samurai Feudal Japan. Yeah.
I mean, is that, you think that's supposed to be Japan? Because they look like ninja to me. They look like ninja to me. Like the main characters look like ninja. Technically.
Yeah. I mean, like architecture-wise, and I mean, yeah, and also like that's definitely Mount Fuji. I mean, like, yeah.
What was that company's called? Company called? You remember offhand by chance?
I don't remember.
Huh.
I actually don't remember.
No worries.
Oh, something I wanted to bring up because
Yep,
I forgot to mention this before with like the gameplay style or whatever it was going to be. Movement.
Oh, we completely skipped over it. Yeah. We completely skipped over it. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. We mentioned the rolling and stuff, and I'm like, is there going to be a bike? Like, what are we looking at here?
Nah, you learn how to use extreme speed, and you just run faster like a ninja, which I would absolutely love. By the way,
I would be so down.
I just want them to carpet bomb me with as many ninja abilities as possible, and just say that's what this world is. Like people don't rely on Pokemon as much as they do now, and like that's what I want. That's what I want. I would prefer, because I guess you're right there. Like if they're in feudal Sinnoh, like what is a bike? I mean, they have mastered the Pokeball, but like, what is a bike? Like, I don't like the technology in their world is weird. But I could definitely go for it.
That also going off that, is there going to be gyms? Like,
there'll probably be lords.
Well, they only said there was like a couple towns, so I guess so.
Yeah, I don't even.
Also, like on top of that, they brought up it was a nation that was building. Are you going to be building up your town? It's going to be like a town builder. Like,
oh god, I kind of don't want that, to be honest. I really don't want that.
If it's upgrades, I'd be
let me rephrase that. If it's not mandatory, I'm fine with it. Like if it's something I could do in my spare time, but if it's like part of the plan, like I mean, obviously never played like the latest Assassin's Creed, but the latest Assassin's Creed, you cannot do one of these missions until you build up your town to this point. I hate that a lot. Actually.
Yeah, I figured they were going to go there. I love it, but I get what you mean.
so I guess I think this is a worthy conversation. Like, what do you think will be the trades for the things that we kind of, I don't want to say take advantage of, but like the current, the modern day Pokemon settings, like that they'll have to trade off. Like obviously there's the bike. There's a lot of those items are like kind of technology. Do we still have TMs and HMs? Do we have, like, can we teach our Pokemon's moves in that same way? Because they were discs.
Because they're discs. Yeah. Like, they're gonna be like, you just beat it. It's your Pokemon.
Like, could you imagine? Like I would love something like. Would I love that? Like you would have to go to like a person to train you in those moves. Like you have to go to like a dojo to teach your Pokemon this move. I hope their creativity is as much as mine. Is my hope here.
No, you're. I mean, I think you're onto something, because they tried this in Sword and Shield, where it was like you get the disc and you can kind of keep them, and there's only a couple that you have to like, go back and get. So basically, what you're implying is that, what if it's like scrolls that you keep in and you can teach your Pokemon?
Scrolls work.
And
you're right.
And ones that are more like advanced, you actually have to go to a trainer or someone to actually learn those abilities. Like,
that is my ranking theory right now. That is the theory that I accept as reality at the current moment. Wow. I mean, I think that, because like also,
is there going to be a jump button?
Looks like it. Which begs the other question: will there be verticality? Like, will I be able to climb a mountain? Or will I have to go up a path to the mountain?
That far. Yes. You know it's the case, because I think trainers are going to still be in this game. So,
Yeah, I'm looking at.
Still be able to.
Yeah, I'm looking at our background. There is. I mean, they don't actually. Do they show any trainers in the trailer?
No. No, not yet.
How would you? Controversial question. How would you feel about no trainers in the game?
Mixed, because with Pokemon especially, the games aren't that challenging when you're just fighting Pokemon normally. the challenge really comes when you're facing trainers, and that's the point. Like the trainers are the challenge
because they train.
So I mean, unless they have something to kind of implement, like you fighting Pokemon that are actually challenging, not all that particularly.
Oh, something like Go for it. Yeah.
No.
I was gonna say just like something like kind of like how Far Cry. I would say Far Cry or maybe Assassin's Creed has those like legendary things, kind of like that. Like instead of there being trainers, there's just like the Lucario that watches over the bridge that doesn't let anybody go if you don't beat his ass. But they have like way more because they have those in the Pokemon games now, like a more or less, but they're usually in the form of legendary Pokemon. But like I think that'd be cool to have like Pokemon that you can't catch. Like it's like the Lucario that has always watched over this bridge. You don't get this Lucario, but you have to get through this Lucario to get over the bridge. Like having Pokemon in this world that you can't catch, I feel like is almost necessary if you don't have as many trainers.
Or you have the trainers, but you actually have them be a challenge, and they make them integral to something, like to like a village or something. They're like more connected to the village, and they have like conversation and dialogue, like that are unique to that, or they don't even have to be. But just making the world feel like it's more lived in, kind of like I guess Diamond and Pearl kind of did that pretty well. Because that Diamond and Pearl is huge. Like it's a big game.
Yeah, I mean, not even considering all of the underground tunnels, which not even going to get into.
Well, that's also something I wanted to bring up. Is like, is there going to be dungeons? Like, are you going to go in caves and explore? Like, how are you going to go down? Like, what does that mean?
Yeah,
mine shafts are probably definitely going to be a thing because like infrastructure and stuff.
You think?
That doesn't also include like the building of infrastructure.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Like if you have a town, like you're probably gonna have a mine.
That's ideal, honestly.
And what was the other thing? Like the possibilities are kind of endless. Like like with having basically the wildlands from Sword and Shield being the game. I know they did that in the DLC, but I obviously didn't play it.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to see what they do with like a bigger world than obviously a DLC map. Like, what are the varieties that they can actually capture? And I know Game Freak has a big problem with capturing variety and like sticking to it.
I felt like
the only time they stuck to it was like Sapphire, Emerald, and Ruby.
I was just gonna say, like, I remember going through Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald's world and to some extent Diamond and Pearl's world. Like I remember, like which one of those has that volcano? Which with Heatron is his name? Heatron? Am I thinking of the legendary Pokemon Heatron? He looks like he's like this kind of thing, and he's like a lava Pokemon, and he like moves.
Oh, that's is that Diamond and Pearl?
Diamond and Pearl had a lot of legendary Pokemon in it, which is why I think it was one of my favorites, even though Emerald.
It did.
Like it had the Regigis. Huh? What'd you say?
Lots of ones that you had to randomly catch in spots. Like you had to just like hope that you got it.
Like literally, they had the S. Whoa, that was loud. They had the Mesprit, the little 3 fairy looking Pokemon.
Yep.
They had the Regigis, I think, in there, the Braille Pokemon that you had to learn Braille for.
Yep.
Obviously, they had obviously Dialga, Palkia, and Rayquaza. I'm wrong. And
no
Arceus, Arceus, and Giratina.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that.
I think Deoxys was in Diamond and Pearl. Because you remember, like, you had to go to, like, those stones.
No.
I'm
Deoxys
fact-checking. I'm fact-checking you, bro.
Because Deoxys fights Rayquaza.
You're right. Because they're both from space. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. Because Deoxys came a little bit later, which was really weird, but whatever. Because then you had to go up the steps. Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, man. That was a good time. All right, we just hit our 40-minute mark. Is there anything you want to add on to? Like I had other random stuff, but like some of the other random notes I had here that's not really like worthy of like a full length conversation. Like I was curious like if we get to see extinct Pokemon just like living in the land now.
Yeah, actually, I was going to bring that up too. Like extinct Pokemon is a big one for me. Like because we know extinct Pokemon exists due to Sword and Shield. And how fucked up that can be because you just fuse them together. It's fucked up. Like whatever. That was the most fucked up part of the game.
Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, because like, we also don't
unless it runs.
Like we don't even have that fossil system. So it's like whatever was out there, whatever is out there, it's just going to be out there assumptively, unless they just use some magic as technology kind of thing. Yeah, and even though I know that, like I would bet my left arm that the guy from the movie Deimos is going to be in the game. I would literally bet my left arm on that. I really hope.
Really?
I'm definitely because the thing is, why would you have the Legend of Arceus in feudal Sinnoh without Deimos, who is in the movie of feudal Sinnoh, who helps Arceus? Like it would be a missed opportunity if they don't.
Have you met the Pokemon Company?
It would be a very missed opportunity if they don't. Like I cannot see them not doing this. I cannot see it. And the other thing,
how is he integral to the story?
So
what does he do?
So when something happens to Arceus that I can't remember, and Deimos and Pichu helps Arceus when it's hurt, and in return, Arceus heals their land. Like Arceus like brings back their land, and so obviously Deimos dies because he's from feudal Sinnoh. And the actual movie takes place with his like great granddaughter.
Got it.
And so she has the same power that Deimos has, where she can like move through time and space and connect with these legendary Pokemon. Because like even like you didn't see it obviously, but in one of the clips. She has this like connection with Dialga, and Dialga almost talks to her via eye contact. He probably actually says something in the movie, I don't know, but so their land is kind of, I mean, like there's the story of Sinnoh is kind of integral to Deimos's like plot, but you're right. I mean, like obviously this is me being creative and hoping that developers and creators are just as creative as I am when they're creating their game.
Ours, they don't communicate.
It's true. It's true.
Like all the stuff from Powers with Us could have been in like any game, but
it's true. It's true. And I for the love of God, excuse me. I hope that I'm so tired of those goddamn Pokemon noises. I'm so tired of them, even though I give them credit for them being unique. I give them credit for that. But I would like they need to up the ante on, like they don't have to be them repeating their names, even though I think that'd be cute. But I would like a higher fidelity audio on that personally.
Yeah, no, I mean that was the whole weird thing with like Sword and Shield, where you have like Pikachu actually being like Pikachu, and you're like, why isn't this the same for like all the other Pokemon? Like it's not that hard. It's just one line, like for each Pokemon.
Like they can get me in there and do that. I can do that. Like that'll take a day. I can knock that out in a day. Like me and Sunny in there, but we can knock that out in a day. Yeah. So one of the other like random. And so I said all that to say like, even though I'm almost sure that they're gonna have Deimos, even if it's just as an Easter egg on one little bitty town. I really want them to have Sir Aaron from one of my favorite Pokemon movies, Lucario and the Mystery of Mew, where
oh my God,
Ash dresses up as Sir Aaron because he's like linked to Ash in some sort of way. So the problem here is though, Sir Aaron is from Kanto. which is why I think he won't. But he could be traveling. He could be traveling though.
I mean, they do say that there's a professor who traveled around who got like the starter Pokemon for this game. So I mean, it's possible.
I hope it's Sir Aaron. I really hope. But also, that being said, though, Sir Aaron didn't use Pokeballs. Obviously, they can retcon that, but he used that little soul spear thing to capture the soul of Lucario.
It's fucked up.
Then the last note I had here is, how do you think Pokemon centers will work?
There's just going to be Pokemon centers.
That's whack, bro. Nah, bro. You can't just take...
It's just going to be healing centers.
That's whack. I mean, I guess they have Pokeballs, but do they have the technology to heal the Pokemon inside of Pokeballs?
Bro, medicine. Like, what do you want?
Jesus Christ! You bring them to the hospital like at this point, like that's weird. That's kind of weird, don't you think?
They gotta like inject them with Novocaine,
like literally, like Pikachu's like, like I mean, like how would you feel about you having to take your Pokemon in and it's not an immediate heal? Like you have to like leave them there for a few minutes and like you can like do stuff in the town while they heal or something. Or is that too RPG for you?
I think that would make it interesting. No, I would love that. It's a lot like a couple other games I play. So
because it makes you vulnerable. It's yeah, go for it. Go.
Exactly. No, like that was on point. Like it makes you have to reevaluate your team rather than just going with the same team over and over again. You have to like change out your Pokemon. I mean, like there's what's that Pokemon run? When you lock Nuzlocke. Where if you play any version of the game, you can catch the first Pokemon you find in I think a path or whatever it's called, the route. And you have to stick with those Pokemon.
Oh wow.
And if they die, then they're dead. So you just put them in the box and let them go.
Oh wow. Yeah, I think that's cool.
That's just how you run through the game.
I think that's cool. Like I want a hard Pokemon game, and I think that they could easily do it. And I think that would, like, first of all, if my Pokemon like got murked like death forever, like that would make it hard. They don't need that. That's a little bit much. You know, I go a little bit hard on the difficulties, but I do think that having a time.
I mean, they could. I mean, they did that for Fire Emblem.
But I mean, I think that the Pokemon is more ubiquitous, and I think that we like you have to consider like I mean, unfortunately you have to consider like the 7-year-olds playing.
Choose difficulty.
Could you imagine like a difficulty in a Pokemon game? I would absolutely play it on the highest difficulty. My Pokemon would be dying.
Exactly. Like there's no question in my mind that I would do the same thing. Like the reason why I stopped playing Pokemon games is because I get bored. And the only time you are interested in it is when you're like playing against something difficult. Or you're collecting all the Pokemon. And then once that's up, I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm out. Like, if they made it so, like, I had a hard time getting through the story and then, like, a subsequent playthrough, you just played with a different team and it was just as interesting, I'd be totally down for that. I mean, that was, like, a whole problem, or not my whole problem, but a big problem with, freaking Shield and Sword. I've never said
Sword and Shield.
And how that the games are hard. Like you just play through it and it's over. And they're like, how about you do the challenges? And I'm like, why are the challenges happening at the end of the game? Like the game should just be challenging.
It's like the Battle
and,
Frontier.
Like, you just come back to it later.
Yeah.
Add difficulty, make it interesting.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, they're probably not going to do that, but I very much like that.
Too much work.
I very much like that. Like, yeah. That's my only thought on it. I very much like that. That's all my thoughts. Do you have anything to add?
Nah, that's it.
Lit. Well, it is Friday. I missed the Chinese food store. Well, that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. It ran a bit long. I wanted it to be 30 minutes, but it's 50 minutes. But I do think that the topic warranted 50 minutes of conversation. Like, share, subscribe. You can follow me at total.strength on Instagram. And where can people find you, Haziah?
They can find me on my YouTube channel. I think it's just Haziah Tompkins. I haven't changed the name yet. I post something every once in a blue moon.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. So I didn't even know that. Yeah. That makes sense. Well, and Haziah will maybe be featured in one of our Cold War videos, maybe. I was thinking of streaming tonight, but this video long as hell.
Again because I was playing a different game.
That's crazy. We're on season 2 now.
Downloaded it. I was like, I know, but I was playing a different game. I even got the PS5 version of it. I was gonna play it, and it said 181 gigabytes. I was like, I'm deleting this shit off.
Be gone. Wait, listen to the video. Okay. Have a good day, guys. Nice talking to you. Comment below your thoughts. And happy Pokemon trailer day. We got it.
I thought it was like happy Kwanzaa or something.